This is a quick technique you can use to restore or create cast texture to styrene surfaces. To demonstrate this technique, I'll be cleaning up the seam line of a Dragon M4 Sherman turret. Turret halves are hard to mold, and the seam line typically needs some TLC. After careful fitting, the turret is cemented together and the seam is filled with a non-solvent filler. My favorite is a mixture of Zap-A-Gap and acrylic powder. The mixture sets up in a few minutes and the excess is removed with an arbor band and a handpiece. Final finishing is done with sandpaper and a sanding sponge. At this stage, the molded-in cast texture has been obliterated. The texture is restored using an eccentric round burr mounted in a motorized handpiece. A typical steel round burr is given a slight bend. The amount of bend, where the bend is placed, as well as the size of the burr can vary the texture, so I have several of these burrs made up for different surfaces. Before using the burr, it's a good idea to dull it up a bit so that it's less aggressive on the soft styrene. Here I simply run it over a sharpening stone. Using light pressure, the burr is run over the smooth surface to recreate the original cast texture. Play with the speed a bit until you feel the burr smoothly dancing over the surface. Using this technique along with the non-solvent filler makes this fast and convenient, reducing the entire process to about 15 minutes. For my fellow Shermanaholics, you will no doubt want to restore the prototype cast parting line. I do this with a thickness of Mr. Surfacer 500. For those that want more information on this technique, the written explanation appears on my Dragon Sherman construction page. This is another example of a more subtle cast texture, where I've had to blend in the modified section of a splash guard into the center section of a Tasca Sherman final drive assembly casting. I hope with a little practice and playing around, you'll have a new trick in your bag of skills.